to your go-to Detroit Pistons podcast, the Pistons Pulse, co-hosted by me, Bryce Sasser of Motor City Hoops, a former D1 hooper and current teacher, husband, and father of 3 amazing kids.
And I'm Omari for the second Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press.
And of course, we're always blessed to be joined by our producer, Wes Davenport. But for this special episode, we're going to get right into it because for the first time, we are joined by a member of the Pistons organization from Red Oak High School in Texas, a senior from Houston, number 25 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. Marcus Sasser. Sasser was consensus first-team All-American, Jerry West Award winner, AAC Player of the Year, first-team All-AAC. This kid can play, and he is now a member of the Detroit Pistons. Marcus, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yeah, appreciate you for joining us, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess to lead off, just how things slowed down for you this summer, right? I mean, I'm sure it's been a crazy 2 months with the draft. And even before that, all the preparation, do you feel like things are finally starting to kind of slow down for you, getting your feet under you?
Yeah, a little bit. We had like 2 weeks off after that summer league. So I kind of just used that time to, try to get ready. So before training camp started. But everything's starting to slow down now. It ain't just full speed no more. So it's good. I'm starting to get the hang of it now.
Let's go back to your roots, Marcus. What was it like growing up? What was your high school career, AAU, your recruitment into college? Did you consider anywhere else other than Houston? And why was Houston ultimately the decision?
I had like top 4, really like a top 3. But Houston, I only took one visit, and Houston was my first visit. So, and I really committed like after that visit. But it's just like the first day I stepped on campus, I kind of just felt like that's where I needed to be. The coaching staff was great. The players that was already there, they treated me like I was their brother already. And I just feel like that's the perfect college where I could go and just grow. And then, they already had something good for them. They just came off that Sweet 16 run. And I just knew like Coach Sampson, he can push his players, to get them where they need to be. And I think he did. He was a big part for that, for where I'm at right now.
Marcus, I talked to Coach Sampson and then also Quantis White for a story a couple months ago. And they talked about, for one, just that they said you were the hardest worker that they had ever seen come through Houston. Quantis said Quentin Grimes was probably top on this list, and then you came in and you were probably the one player who topped him. Sampson talked about when you first got in, they had a conditioning drill. I think you had to run a mile in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And you were the one guard who didn't complete that drill. And then the next few months were just you getting your conditioning up. And then you ended up starting midway through your freshman year. I guess, one, what was it like coming in, not being used to that college workload? And then what kind of pushed you to be able to match that energy and then emerge as a starter as a freshman just in that short amount of time?
The runs, like you said, this is the thing we got called conditioning month. It's kind of like 3.5 weeks in September. And it's just like you wake up early in the morning. It's kind of just like a mental thing, but like it's just like some hard runs, and it's different types of runs every day. But every Friday was the mile, but like you had to run it under a certain time for your position. And that was kind of like my first time ever just running the mile, at that pace. So I just went prepared for it. But it was a good lesson for me. It just taught me to always be in shape. And really it was like a mental thing, and I think it kind of toughened me up, So then when the season did start, we had I was probably like 3rd or 4th on the depth chart. But I realized, just in practice, I was just kind of had that dog mentality. I wanted to get on the court as a freshman. I kind of didn't care, how many years the other people been there. And I just realized, like defense and just being a dog was my way of getting on the court. And I just kept doing that day in and day out. And then eventually I started, and, I kind of just, I wasn't worried about the offensive end. I was just worried about the defensive end. So every time I did get in, that was my job, and they noticed it. And then I started and never looked back from there.
And to add on to that, he said and you mentioned it, but what led to you starting was just you could guard the opposing point guard better than everybody else. He talked about just your feet, being able to move your feet, and just how consistent you were every day. I guess at what point did you realize that defense could be your path to carving out that role?
Yeah, I say my freshman year, just because, we did have a lot of talented guards in practice. We had Dejan Jarreau, Quinn Grimes, Nathan, Caleb Mills, so just guarding them guys every day, I kind of think it helped me become like a better defender. But it's also, just your want to. And, being the size that I am, you kind of got to create some, for the coach to keep you on the court. And I kind of just felt like that was kind of my secret skill or something, I guess you can say, just playing defense. And I still do it to this day because, it's kind of fun to me now. I just learn little tips and I watch the playoffs a lot. And, the best teams, I feel like, you got to have a good point of attack. Defender on the ball. So
you kind of spoke to it just a little bit there, Marcus. Do you have a chip on your shoulder because you are 6'1" and quote unquote a little guy in today's NBA? Has that always been the case for you? Does that motivate you? Kind of how does it feel to be a smaller guy, quote unquote, in the modern NBA?
Yeah, I definitely I've been having a chip on my shoulder. I can just say since high school, I kind of felt like I was under recruited. Just my path to the NBA. So it always had a chip on my shoulder. And, now that I am in the league, like you said, just being undersized, at 6'1", I still got that same chip on my shoulder. Just because my size and that's just who I am as a person. Every time I step on that floor, just having that dog mentality. And I'm really just trying to get in the opponent's team's chest and, make them real uncomfortable.
So real quick, Marcus, what do you feel like improved the most offensively for you at Houston? We've talked about your defense. Obviously, you like you said, you got that dog defensively. But what improved offensively? Where do you feel like you really grew the most?
I say my playmaking. I was, as a freshman and a sophomore in my college career, I kind of felt like I was just a shooter. And then my junior year, I kind of just got real comfortable and, I started to create my own shot. So, I was able to, do step backs. My handle got better. I kind of got more athletic. And then my senior year, I went to a couple camps. I went to CP3 camp, Dame camp, and I kind of just took different tips and things from them. And I came back my senior year, I was just way more confident and just like the pick and roll. The game was kind of just slowed down for me. So just making them right reads and my playmaking, I kind of felt like that's where it grew the most at Houston my senior year.
Marcus, you come from a basketball family. Obviously, your uncles both spent time in the NBA. Jason had a great career at Texas Tech, and then Jarrell played for SMU. And Jason was also your high school coach, correct?
Yeah, he was.
I guess for you, obviously that kind of shaped you as a player, but just what was your relationship with your uncles like? And just for you, just what is it like being from a family where you have those types of role models to look up to?
For me, it's a good thing just because, you got people to talk to for when you get to that moment, that point, they've been through what I've been through. So, I have somebody personal, that's right here that I can just call, pick up the phone and ask them about. And then it's also like a competitive thing. We all competitive and we all want to be, the best of the family. So, it also, pushes us a little bit. It's like a little motivational thing, every time we step on the floor and, you got Sasser on your back. But having him as my high school coach, I kind of feel like that's kind of where I knew that I could be good at the game of basketball just because of the sets and things he put me in and the confidence, he had in me. And it kind of just where I took off. I'll say that's where I took off when he became my head basketball coach at Red Oak.
Jason was also probably one of your biggest fans when I was talking to Coach Sampson a couple months ago. And I think you were a 3-star recruit. And he said that you were better than the McDonald's All-Americans. You were better than the top 100 guys.
Yeah.
How much did that help kind of push you to where you are now, just not being a highly recruited player, but, obviously having people who really kind of instilled that confidence in you?
That's just, that chip on my shoulder. We all kind of got it in the family. And him just seeing me every day, he's seen me in the gym. He's seen my work ethic. He's seen how serious I took basketball. And so just for him to, say that to Hall of Famer college coach, it kind of just shows you the confidence that he had in me, as his point guard on his team. So it was real good just to, have him have my back like that, and then me just going to back it up.
Marcus, what was the pre-draft process like? Can you explain that to our listeners? Because, that's not something, even Omari and I don't get a full glimpse of that as much as we're around the game. Everybody sees the draft night, and then we'll talk about summer league and just what you went through the process 3 times, 2 times?
Just twice, yeah.
Just twice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was the difference between the 2 years? And can you just walk us through a little bit of like what that 6 weeks is like leading up to the actual draft?
So the first year, my junior year, is when I came off my foot injury, and I had got invited to the G League Combine, and I played well. Then I got a real invite to the NBA Combine. I played okay in that, and it was just like a decision: was I gonna go back to school or continue to go, like, try to make it to the league? But I ended up going back to school, so I really didn't do too much. I went to go work out for 2 teams, I think. Maybe 1. Just 1 team, I think. Yeah, I went to go work out with Chicago. Just 1 team. And then my senior year is kind of when I went through the whole thing. I started out in Chicago, and that's where my agency at. So we work out there for a couple of weeks. And then you just fly to different. Well, then the combine happened, but I didn't play in the combine. I just did like some of the drills and some of the agility and stuff like that. But then you fly out to these different states, and it's tiring. Like it takes a toll on your body for sure, because you can have 3-4 workouts in 1 week, but you just flying to state, and you competing against some of the best guys. You competing against guys that they want to draft, so. You going hard. It's like 2 hours maybe. And then you go through interviews. It's like a real job interview. And then you get like a week or 2 weeks off. And then it's draft night. And then after that, summer league and time to get started. But no, it's really exciting, but it can take a toll on your body for sure.
What were can you give us some like, what was a question that you were asking one of those that just took you off guard? Like, we always hear these stories about crazy questions that were asked. Did you have any?
This year, I ain't have any this year. But, I was hearing the same thing. Like, a lot of people was telling me, like, you're going to get asked some crazy questions, so be ready. But I ain't getting none.
When did the Pistons kind of enter that process, and how did that relationship grow going into the draft? Did you have a pretty good idea that you were going to end up with the Pistons?
I was confident, that I could go there. When I went to go work out for them, I kind of knew some of the people that was already there, like some of the staff. But just from them, like, coming in, they used to come to our practices and stuff in Houston, so I kind of knew familiar faces. But I had a good workout for the Pistons, but it was a real competitive workout because there was a lot of highly talented dudes there. So, I kind of just wanted to stand out. And I kind of just had like a good feeling, my agents and stuff who was talking, they was telling me, the Pistons really like you. And I kind of just thought it was a good fit for me. So I just kind of rolled the dice and said I was going to go to the Pistons, and it happened.
Who were some of the players in your workout, if you don't mind sharing that?
Yeah, it was me, Jordan Walsh, G.G. Jackson, Isaiah Wong.
Were there any players that you ended up competing with at multiple different teams?
Yeah.
There's quite a few of that.
Yeah, it was crazy because, like, we lost to Miami for Houston. But me and Isaiah Wong actually had like 2 back-to-back workouts. We was in LA with the Clippers, and then he came to Detroit like the same day. So we had back-to-back workouts, and we was like each other matchups. So it was fun to compete with him.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're the right dude for that environment, man. You just come in with a chip on you. Like, people don't, I'm not calling anybody out, Marcus. I'm just saying people don't want to see you during the pre-draft process because they know you're going to bring it every single time. So what was draft night like, man? I mean, you've worked your whole life for this. You've put in all this time, effort. We've talked about your family and your influences. Can you just speak a little bit to what that meant to you and your family?
Draft night was like, it was a crazy experience, I always just say, it's a big blessing. I'm just blessed to even get my name called because, my junior year, I kind of felt like I was going to have the best year ever, but, I got hurt. So just coming back my senior year and then just being able to get drafted in the first round, was a big blessing. And just to see the sacrifice and, the hard work, all that to pay off, it was a good thing. But it was also motivation. This is where I wanted to be. This is where I wanted to play. This is what I dreamed of my whole life. But, now it's like I'm a freshman again, so I'm starting over. So, it kind of just motivated me to every day, just go outwork a lot of people. All the work, I knew what it took to get here. So, it's kind of going to take double that to, be good in the league because these are the best players in the world. So it was good, though.
Take us through Summer League. And even from game one, the defensive intensity was there, but the shot wasn't quite falling. And then toward the end, you made up for it and then some, obviously, with that 40-point performance at the end.
Yeah.
I guess just what was sort of the process of just getting acclimated to that Summer League speed, obviously brand new teammates, and then what kind of clicked for you toward the end?
The Summer League it's definitely a difference between college and the NBA. The biggest difference for me, you can say the speed, but I'm gonna just say like the shot clock. So I just say like the pace of the game. So it's like as soon as you come up the court, you only got like 18, 19 seconds. But like in college, you still might got 20 seconds. So just like the pace of, people getting their sets and just the sense of urgency. But like I say, I just try to bring that defensive intensity no matter what, no matter if my offensive game going or not. And, I wasn't shooting it well, them first 2-3 games. But, my teammates and coaches still had confidence in me and was telling me it's good, keep shooting. They was actually telling me I was passing up some shots. So just to, have that confidence from my teammates and coaches, it kind of felt good. And it kind of helped me for that last game, to just go out there and have fun and just play free. And that's kind of what I did. Because even in the first half when I did drop that 40 ball, I still was having a bad shooting game the first half. But, I kind of just had to stay mentally tough. And that second half, it was a close game. I didn't want to lose. And the shots just start falling. And the rest was history.
And you were an elite shooter in college. A lot of guys, when they get to the league, for some it clicks immediately. For some, they have to just adjust not only to the pace, but to the longer line. Has that been part of it for you, just getting used to the longer line?
A little bit. Because, in college, you can shoot an NBA three, and it'll be deep. But, people don't realize how far the NBA line really is. So, just the defensive pickup point is higher, too. Like, the court is bigger. So, it hasn't been, a difference for me because, I practice on shooting deep. I shoot deep in the game. But I just say how far the actual three-point line is. Yeah, that's a difference.
In that game, also, you finally got some love for your wiggle and your handle.
Yeah,
you had dudes flying all over the place, losing them. Is that something you feel like is a little underrated in your game?
Yeah, I think some people see it, but some people just say I'm just like a shooter or something. But I do like playing, with the ball, on the ball, because, I do feel like I can create my own shot, against anybody. And I just work on my ball handling a lot. That's kind of a key piece to my game because of my height. So just getting separation from certain defenders, using my dribble and my quickness, that's something that, I work on a lot. So it is underrated a little bit, though, I think.
Well, and so along with that, though, Marcus, you also almost never turn the ball over. I mean, one of the impressive things about you is your assists, but also your, low turnovers. Where do you think that came from? Why are you so good taking care of the ball?
I give all that credit to Coach Samp. Just at Houston. As a freshman, every time I turned the ball over, I had to run. I was on the line. And we keep track of all that at Houston, so however many turnovers you had in the game, next day in the film room, we looking at that. And he always says, make the Tom Brady pass. And that's basically just a simple pass because, that helps you win games. So that's all I tried to do. And, I still use that to this day, just playing simple, keeping it simple. Don't try to hit the home runs. Don't try to do something I can't do. But just if I can make a spectacular play, just have the confidence. Just don't do it every time. That's kind of how I feel. Just make the simple play most of the time, and it'll keep you on the court.
Obviously, you came in with your draft classmate, Asar Thompson, who also had a really strong summer league. Just what's been your impressions of him so far, and how do you see you two kind of meshing on the Pistons?
He's crazy athletic. His IQ is out the world. He's a really good player, and he's a great defender. So just with him, I feel like he's gonna be a top guard in the league real soon, because his just physical tools is crazy, and his work ethic also is crazy. Every time I'm in the gym, I either see him just getting done working out or about to start working out. Or if we both, just be talking like, you coming back to the gym later? He'd be like, yeah, I'm coming back. So, his work ethic is up there. So I think he's going to be a really good player.
Marcus, there's been a little bit of like, are you a point guard? Are you a shooting guard? Like, how do you think regardless of that, how do you think you fit in with this Pistons team, and specifically kind of the backcourt that's already there, especially the young backcourt with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey?
First, I feel like I'm both, A lot of people ask that, but I kind of feel like it's good if you can play both, not just put in that position where you only can play point guard, or where you can't play the one, you got to play the two. So just playing, I feel like I can play next to Cade. He can play the one, I can play off the ball, where I can, just space the floor. And then, when Cade's not on the floor, I feel like I can run the team at the one with Jaden Ivey at the two. And, we can play fast, and I can get everybody involved, but also, be aggressive with my shot. So I feel like I can play both positions, and just I complement both of them well. So, just being able to go in and just produce, positive minutes for the team. I feel like that's kind of my role my rookie year.
During your press conference, you mentioned that Cade texted you during your flight to Detroit, I believe, or maybe it was right after the draft. But just what has it been like getting to know him? And, like he welcomed you in. Just what has it been like getting to know him as a player so far and as a person?
Yeah, me and Cade, we kind of been knew each other. We both from Dallas, but this the closest like we done been, because we would live like 30, 40 minutes away from each other. So this the closest we done been. But this, you can tell, he's a leader, just the way he carries himself on and off the court, doing lifting weights, all that, he communicates with everybody on the team. He just brings that positive energy, every time he steps in the building. So his leadership role, I can tell from day one, it plays a big part. And I can see why, he's the point guard here for the Pistons. But I just say the way he on the court, I say he can impact the game just a lot because of his size and his IQ. And he also can score the ball. You seen him at Team USA, what he was doing. So I kind of feel like he's coming off that injury, and he's going to be better and stronger, and he's going to help this team a lot.
Marcus, it's August 11th when we're recording this. What's your schedule like here for the next 4 to 6 weeks before you actually get into training camp and the season, exhibition games, all that? You just working out on your own? What's your training routine like and all of that?
We're waking up around 9 every day, going to the gym, just really taking care of our bodies, lifting, on the court stuff. Just doing a lot of skill work. We having a couple open gyms, but, everybody's not here yet. So, we still got people in and out. But for me personally, I'm just trying to, just stay in the best shape I can, for training camp. Just learning some of the plays and things like that, so I can kind of be ahead of the curve when training camp does come, and really just be there to compete and get better as a group.
What are your hopes and expectations for your rookie year?
For me, I just want to make a name for myself. Like I said, I'm coming in as a freshman, kind of just find my footing in the league, and see how my rookie year ends, see what I need to work on, see what I was good at my rookie year. But me, just coming in, giving positive minutes, and just being a positive impact on the team.
All right, Marcus, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit. What's something about you that the Pistons fan base doesn't know right now? What's something interesting, a hidden talent, something about your life? Is there... Detroit Pistons fans are crazy, Marcus. They want to get to know you. So is there anything you can give them?
I'll be chilling, man. I just play the game, listen to music, I went to yoga class a couple days ago. It was my first time. I think I'm gonna start doing yoga. I like adventurous things. I'm finna start getting out more, going explore nature. But I'm a chill dude, man. I'll be chilling.
What's the best food spot you've hit so far, Marcus? There in Detroit.
I went to this place called Prime and Proper. It was real good. That's number one for sure. Well, I ain't gonna say it's number one, but it's number one that I've been to. I ain't been to all the restaurants yet.
Yeah, you're from Texas. I mean, that's barbecue country. Are you a barbecue guy? Like, if it's just you're going out to get dinner. Like, what types of foods do you usually lean toward?
Seafood, barbecue. Okay. Yeah, we like barbecue, but I say seafood number one. We like seafood a lot.
Well, Omari, you got anything else for Marcus before we let him go?
No, I think I'm all set. I guess if there is one last question, when you look back just in college, what game do you think kind of defines who you are as a player? I talked to Coach Sampson, and they both talked about a game against, I think it was Alcorn State, where you played like it was a Final Four game. I guess, does that game stand out to you, or which games really stand out?
Yeah, Alcorn State was a big one. Just because no discredit to Alcorn State or nothing, but just like who they were, who was playing against, sometimes a lot of our players, can get down or we don't feel like playing tonight. But with me, it's just every game. It don't matter who we play. They can be the last team in the conference. If I'm blessed to be able to put on my jersey and be 100% to go out there and play on the floor, I'm gonna give it my all. And I just had a good game that game, and he was just real happy because a lot of my teammates, just went out there and BS, knowing we was gonna win and stuff like that. But that kind of just describes my character. And that's probably why he said that game, because that kind of just describes my character. It don't matter who we playing, where we playing. But if I can play and I'm 100%, I'm going to give it my all.
You're the perfect Detroit Piston, Marcus, man. I'm telling you right now that Pistons fan base is going to love this stuff. Man, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Amari, take it away, my guy.
Yeah, Marcus, we appreciate you coming on, man. This was awesome. And, of course, we're all looking forward to seeing you play next season. So big thanks to our audio producer, Robin Chan, our executive producer, Anjanette Delgado, and our sports editor, Kirkland Crawford. Also, shout out to Wes Davenport, as always. And we'll talk to you all soon.